The day she walked into the river and did not come back, the whole village went silent. I was there. I saw the water close over her head like a door shutting. My name is Adiz. I was the second wife. People say I caused everything. Maybe they are right. Maybe they are wrong. But I will tell you what I saw with my own eyes. The first time I heard about her, people called her a blessing. My husband, Chaik, said he found her by the river after a storm. He told me he pulled her from the water. She was weak but alive. She said little about where she came from. The elders said the river spirits saved her. That was how she became his first wife. When I entered the marriage, I thought I was strong. I believed I could share a husband and still have peace. But the village loved her more. They called her Eneni Miri, mother of water. The crops grew well that year. The river was full. People whispered that she brought luck. The first time I felt fear was during a festival. She stood near the river and sang softly. The water moved toward her feet like it was listening. I told myself it was only wind. But I did not sleep well that night. I began to watch her. I counted the times she went to the river alone. She woke before dawn and returned with wet feet but dry clothes. I asked her how. She only smiled. That smile made my heart burn. One night, I followed her quietly. The moon was bright and the village was asleep. She stood at the riverbank and spoke in a low voice. I could not hear the words. But the water began to rise without rain. I ran back home shaking. I told my husband what I saw. He looked at me with anger. He said jealousy was eating me. He warned me never to speak against her again. That was the night I felt truly alone. The more he defended her, the more I wanted proof. I needed the village to see what I saw. I started asking questions. I spoke to old women. I listened to stories about river spirits who marry men. The pieces began to join in my head. I searched her room one afternoon. I found smooth white stones under her mat. They were always wet. Even in dry season, they felt like they came from deep water. I hid one in my wrapper. That evening, I showed the stone to the elders. I said she was not like us. The elders called a meeting. She stood calm while they asked her questions. She did not deny or accept anything. She only said she loved her husband. Then the drought came. The river began to shrink. Fish died. Children cried for water. The farms turned brown. People looked at her with hope and fear. The elders begged her to pray for rain. She agreed but asked for peace in the home first. Her eyes rested on me. I felt the weight of every whisper I had spoken. Still, I did not step back. The night she went to the river to pray, the whole village followed. She stood in the shallow water and closed her eyes. The sky was empty. No cloud, no wind. Only silence. She began to sing. The sound was soft but strong. The water moved around her legs. For a moment, I believed she would save us. I almost felt sorry for her. Then someone shouted that she was calling spirits. Fear spread fast. People stepped back. My husband looked confused. I felt a strange power rise in me. I said she must prove she was human. She opened her eyes and looked at me. There was no anger there. She said, "If I leave, the river will leave too." I did not understand what she meant. I thought it was a threat. She walked deeper into the river. The water reached her waist. My husband ran forward, but the elders held him back. They said this was her choice. My heart started to beat too fast. She turned once more toward us. She looked at Shaik, not at me. Then she said she only wanted love, not fear. Those were her last words on land. She stepped forward. The water covered her chest, then her shoulders. The sky darkened suddenly. Wind rose from nowhere. I felt cold even though it was dry season. When the water covered her head, the river became still. No splash. No cry. Just still water. My husband fell to his knees. The next morning, the river was lower than before. Days passed. No rain came. Wells dried. Women walked far for muddy water. The village began to blame me. My husband stopped speaking to me. His eyes were always on the empty river. At night, I heard him whisper her name. I began to see her face in my dreams, standing in deep water. One evening, an old priestess came to my door. She said the river maiden had tied her spirit to love. Betrayal broke the bond. Now the river had turned its back on us. The priestess said only true regret could call her back. I did not know how to show regret. Words felt small. But I knew the village was dying slowly. I went alone to the river at night. I stood where she once stood. My legs shook. I spoke into the dark water and said I was wrong. I said I was jealous. I said I feared losing my place. The river did not answer. But I felt something move under the surface. Clouds began to gather slowly over the hills. Thunder rolled far away. I did not know if it was chance or mercy. I stayed there until rain touched my face. The rain fell hard that night. The river began to rise again. People danced in the mud. They said she had forgiven us. But she did not return. My husband still goes to the river every full moon. He leaves small gifts by the bank. He says love can travel through water. As for me, I live with what I did. The river flows again, but it never sings the way it did when she was here. And every time I hear water move at night, I remember the day she walked in and did not come back.